The midday sun scorched the plains, making the dust swirl around abandoned homesteads. Among the dry grasses, a young woman crawled, her legs weak, face smeared with dirt and blood. They had called her lame and left her to die, an act meant to humiliate. She had survived only through stubborn will. The rich rancher, Silas Grant, rode slowly across the valley on his chestnut horse, surveying his property. His sharp eyes caught movement near the creek. At first he thought it was a coyote or stray calf, but as he approached, the figure of a crawling woman became painfully clear. She flinched when she saw him, expecting more cruelty, another blow. But Silas dismounted and knelt a safe distance away, hands open in a gesture of peace. His expensive coat fluttered in the hot wind, and for a moment, she studied him in disbelief. "I'm not here to hurt you," Silas said. "Come slowly. You're safe." His voice was calm, firm, and carried a weight that demanded caution but not fear. Hesitation warred with her desperate need to survive. Her body shook as she tried to stand. Silas offered his arm. She clung to it, trusting instinct over reason. Her small frame pressed against his side as he lifted her gently onto the horse. She winced at the pressure, but he adjusted, careful not to hurt her more. She had expected chains, not compassion. They reached the ranch house by late afternoon. The servants peeked from the doors, whispering about the girl. Silas ignored them, leading her to a guest room. He ordered food and water, insisting she eat first. She obeyed, almost ashamed to take anything, yet ravenous from hours of crawling through the dust. "I'm Clara," she whispered finally, after eating bread and drinking slowly. Her voice was small but clear. "They said I was worthless, lame, that I'd never survive." Tears glistened in her eyes as she spoke. Silas remained silent, listening carefully. Her story matched what he feared most about the cruelty in the frontier. He learned she had been abandoned by her own family after an injury left her unable to walk properly. They had taken her dowry, sold her livestock, and laughed as she crawled through the desert. She had survived on roots, water from creeks, and sheer determination. Over the next days, Silas tended to her wounds and arranged for a comfortable bed. He did not demand anything in return, only her trust. Slowly, Clara began to recover, her strength returning with each passing day. She helped in the house, learned small tasks, and observed the ranch's routines. Neighbors whispered about the young girl living with the rich rancher. Some assumed impropriety, others questioned her past. Silas ignored them all. He knew danger could come again, yet he refused to abandon someone who had survived what she had endured. Compassion, he realized, was rarer than gold. One evening, a group of men arrived from her old town, demanding she return. They wanted her as a servant or worse to face punishment for disobedience. Silas met them at the front gate, tall and imposing, his figure cutting through the dust like a wall. "She stays," he said simply. "No one touches her." His voice was steady, measured, and carried authority that no man dared challenge. The men spat in the dirt, muttered threats, then rode off, powerless against his wealth and reputation. Clara watched silently, relief and gratitude shining in her eyes. Weeks turned into months. Clara learned to walk more steadily, aided by Silas and the ranch's gentle routines. He taught her small tasks, encouraged her curiosity, and never mocked her past. In the quiet moments, he told her stories about the ranch, the land, and survival, helping her feel grounded. By winter, she was stronger, even laughing again. The ranch house no longer felt cold or lonely. Silas enjoyed her company, the warmth of her presence replacing a lifetime of solitude. Clara slowly realized she trusted him in a way she had not trusted anyone in years. Silas never pressed for affection, only offered care and respect. The bond grew naturally, born of survival, compassion, and shared understanding. When Clara walked across the snow-covered porch one morning, Silas followed, proud of her strength and resilience. One day he asked her if she wanted to return to her family. She shook her head. "I have a life here. With you. I am safe here." Silas nodded, knowing the frontier had not always been kind, But he could make it safe now. Their lives intertwined slowly, built on trust and healing. Clara learned that strength came from more than legs or arms. It came from support, courage, and being seen as human. Silas learned that wealth and power meant nothing without heart and empathy. Years later, the neighbors would say that a lonely rich rancher had saved a girl left for dead. The truth was quieter. Two souls, scarred by a cruel world, found safety and dignity in each other's presence, and that survival, compassion, and trust could heal wounds no medicine could touch. And so the ranch thrived. Clara walked confidently across the land, and Silas finally found purpose beyond wealth, protecting, guiding, and witnessing the rebirth of a life thought lost. In a land of dust and danger, humanity had prevailed.